Hi, my name is Mohammed Hamad. I'm going to present a topic on deep clone, modeling clones to generate code predictions. Here you can see a list of contributors: Mohammed Hamad, Ondar Babar, Ahmed Abdul Basit, Mark Van Brandt. Three of them belongs to Eindhoven University of Technology, and one of them belongs to Prince Sultan University. So writing new code is an expensive activity which consumes considerable amount of time and effort. For this purpose, many features has been developed which can help developers to write code quickly and easily. These features are such as code snippet search, code prediction, code auto-completion, and code generation. In order to solve this issue, language models have been effectively employed for these tasks. So what are the language models? A language model estimates the likelihood of sequences of tokens based on training dataset by assigning probabilities to tokens or character sequences. Shannon was the first who used language modeling to predict the next element following some given English text in 1951. There are various types of language models, such as statistical and deep neural networks. Language models which are constructed based on deep neural networks are called neural language models. These techniques for language modeling have been applied to natural languages and programming languages successfully. Similar type of patterns has a great importance in our daily life, and it has been reused in in many different scenarios, such as building construction, car making, etc. Similarly, code clones are also the similar kind of patterns in the code, which are usually created with the copy paste ad hoc reuse practice. Around, according to Roy and Cordy, around 5 to 50% of the code in software applications can be contained in clones. Clones are generally considered harmful, and several techniques exist for avoiding and eliminating them. According to Kapser and Godfrey, clones can be useful in certain software development scenarios, one of them being exploratory development, where the rapid development of a feature is required. There is an advantage of a clone code, and which is that it is expected to be more stable and possesses less risk than new development. Here are our list of contributions. We exploit the reusability aspect of code clones to build a neural language model by explicitly modeling code clones along with non-cloned code for code prediction. Our approach can generate code predictions of complete method body of arbitrary length on the basis of user input. We quantitatively evaluated our approach using the Big Clone Bench dataset in terms of model quality and performance in various tasks, including token prediction and clone method prediction. Now I'm going to give you a brief overview of our approach. First, we perform a sequence of pre-processing steps to prepare our dataset by using IJA dataset and Big Clone Bench references. This produces three set of files such as training, testing, and validation. We fine-tune GPT-2 pre-trained model over those set of three files, which then produces training results and deep clone model. So let's discuss Big Clone Bench dataset. Big Clone Bench is the largest clone benchmark dataset consisting of over 8 million manually validated clone method pairs in IJA dataset 2.0. Big Clone Bench contains clones corresponding to 43 distinct functionalities. It contains references of IJA dataset to clone methods with both syntactic and semantic similarities. So what IJA dataset 2.0 is a large Java repository of 2.3 million source files from 25,000 open source projects. Here is a list of dataset preparation steps. First, we filtered IGA dataset files, keeping those which have references of true positive clone methods in big clone bench dataset. Then we distribute the set of files in each functionality folder into portions as per some ratio, as per defined ratio, 80% training, 10% validation, and 10% testing. Then we mark the clone methods in IGA dataset files by placing the meta token SOC, which means start of the clone, and EOC means end of the clone. Then we normalize our code by removing white spaces, extra lines, comments, and perform tokenization. Then we replace numeric values with numval meta token, and we replace string values with str underscore val meta token. This is to reduce vocabulary size and to perform fast training of the model. Finally, we merge all the tokenized data from the training, validation, and testing files, which finally produces train, test, and valid.txt files. These tables represent the dataset statistics upon distribution. Table at the top represents a summary of big clone bench dataset distributed into training, testing, and validation sets. You can analyze that our dataset is quite large enough as it contains a total of 21 million tokens. Table at the bottom represents more detailed overview of our dataset distribution in terms of each functionality. You can learn more about these statistics from our paper. Let's discuss the data preparation step with an example. This is the code snippet of binary search functionality. As you can see, there are some comments and some extra spaces. So first we mark the code snippet with SOC and EOC token. Then we normalize this code snippet by removing the extra spaces. And then finally we replace all the constant values with meta token. This is to reduce the vocabulary size and to perform fast training. We train two neural language models by applying two different deep learning techniques on the prepared dataset: gated recurrent units GRU and generative trained transformer 2 GPT-2. GRU is a gating mechanism in recurrent neural networks, which is similar to long short-term memory but has a forget gate and fewer parameters as it lacks an output gate. We applied the recently proposed configuration settings for GRU deep learning model of Karm-Patsys. Why we choose GRU? Because it outperforms many n-gram models on code completion and bug detection tasks. Our second model is GPT-2. It has been developed by OpenAI. It is a large-scale unsupervised language model. It is famous for generating several sound sentences of realistic text by extending any given seed. We fine-tuned a pre-trained model on the IGA dataset as there exists a large amount of overlapping vocabulary of Java language with English language. We have performed a comparative evaluation of GRU and GPT-2 models. We calculated the perplexity scores to measure the quality of models. Whereas perplexity is a measurement of how well a given language model predicts sample data, lower the perplexity score means the better is the performance of a model. We calculated mean reciprocal rank, which is the average of reciprocal ranks for all the input sequences used in the evaluation. We also calculated top K accuracy, which is the fraction of times the correct prediction appears in the top K predictions. You can learn more about these measures from the published papers and the given material from the internet. The table mentions that GPT-2 model clearly outperforms GRU in terms of all the three measures: perplexity, MRR, and top K accuracy. We choose a GPT-2 fine-tuned model and name it as deep clone model, and further evaluate it on the following 5 different aspects: training evaluation, effect of using clone markers, accuracy per clone method, non-clone methods versus clone methods, and performance on other datasets. Afterwards, we evaluate clone method predictions performed by deep clone model and evaluate it on following different aspects: rapid development and quality. So first we perform training evaluation of deep clone model. From the graphs A and B, you can see that perplexity and the loss value saturates as the training progresses. And similarly from the graph C, you can see that the learning rate vanishes as the training is going on, which represents that model is perfectly fine-tuned over a big clone bench dataset. So this is another evaluation of deep clone model, which is the effect of using clone markers. Hindle noticed down that a sign of a good model is that it can capture the patterns in the dataset very well, which is particularly important for the task of clone method prediction. So based on that analysis, we calculated the score of perplexity on the test dataset containing clone markers, and it gives us a score of 2.146. Then we calculated the perplexity on the test dataset without the clone markers, and it gives us a score of 2.182. We noticed down an increase of 3.6%. This depicts that deep clone model performs better when the code has marked clone methods. We have also done evaluation per clone method. We calculated average perplexity score represented with PPL in table A5 for each functionality type. We also calculated the mean and variance values to determine the overall syntactic similarity of all the clone methods for each type of functionality. We noticed down that perplexity scores vary according to the syntactic similarity between clone methods as well as the number of clone method snippets. There are some other factors such as clone types and hyperparameters for GPT-2, which are left to be explored in the future work. From this evaluation, we learned that deep clone achieves a successful prediction for majority of clone methods. We also evaluated deep clone model on the basis of non-clone methods versus clone methods. Alaminos noticed down that a language model achieves low perplexity scores for code duplication and high perplexity score for less duplicated code. We calculated average perplexity score for the clone method snippets, which is equals to 2.767. We also calculated average perplexity of the non-clone method snippets, which is equals to 2.996. We performed one-tailed Wilcoxon rank sum to statistically compare p-clone methods with p-non-clone methods, which indicates that p-clone method is indeed less than that p-non-clone method. We achieve a p-value less than 0.001. This depicts that deep clone model correctly predicts clone method snippets much better than non-clone snippets in general. We have evaluated the deep clone model on the other dataset. We focused on 38 test projects from Alaminos corpus, which have been used in previous studies for baselining. As you can see in the table, that deep clone model clearly outperforms other models on the basis of cross entropy and MRR. Here cross entropy is the inverse of perplexity. This depicts that deep clone model is successfully fine-tuned with GPT-2 over Java corpus in general. Now we will talk about how we are getting the clone methods from the deep clone model. First, we performed an experimental design. Um, in this design, we applied nucleus sampling, as it is claimed to be the best strategy for generating large amount of high quality text comparable to human written text. We extracted subsequences of 20 tokens from the testing dataset and moved the sliding window one step ahead to obtain further subsequences. We randomly selected 735 subsequences in which SOC token is a part of each subsequence, indicating a start of a clone method. We passed these subsequences one by one to deep clone model and kept on predicting new tokens with nucleus sampling until the meta token EOC appeared. Here we will discuss about how the clone method prediction helps in the rapid development. Given the 735 cases, deep clone model successfully generate 92,926 tokens. This amounts to an average of 126 tokens per case. We compare our methodology with DeepTab9, which is a popular auto-completer tool, which generates 5 to 20 tokens at one time. We also compare our methodology of clone marking strategy with threshold-based strategy. The threshold-based strategy may not generate a set of code tokens for a complete method in a single pass, whereas marking the clone method regions in the dataset helps deep clone to generate complete methods in a single pass. This depicts that deep clone provide ease to the developer by generating complete method in a single pass. We have also measured the quality of clone methods predicted from deep clone model on the basis of ROG scores. ROG means recall oriented understudy positioning evaluation. It is used to determine the quality of deep clone output and the ground in terms of the ground truth. We calculated precision, recall, and F-measure of ROG scores. We have selected three types of ROG: ROG1, ROG2, ROG-L. ROG1 refers to the overlap of unigrams between some reference output and the output to be evaluated. ROG2 in turn checks for bigrams instead of unigrams. The purpose of ROG1 and ROG2 is to check the fluency by following strict consecutive matches between deep clone output and ground truth. We have also measured ROG-L, which measures longest matching sequence of tokens between machine generated text or code and human produced. The purpose of ROG-L is to measure in sequence matches rather than strict consecutive matches between deep clone output and ground truth. We have also performed a qualitative investigation of clone method predictions. In this analysis, we noticed down three different scenarios. First scenario is when method name exists in user context. The second scenario is method name does not exist in user context, but functionality type of deep clone matches with the ground truth. In both these two scenarios, we observe high ROG score values. The third scenario is the method name does not exist in user context and functionality type of deep clone does not match with the ground truth. In the last scenario, we observe low ROG score values. We recommend that the user should type the method name in the context. From the table, we observe that the deep clone successfully generates high quality code. Here, this is an example of scenario A, where method name transpose exists in the user context. This helps the deep clone model to generate a similar kind of output as compared to ground truth. So you can see the deep clone output functionality type matches with the ground truth. You can learn other scenario examples from our paper in detail. So now we will discuss about the use cases of deep clone model. Deep clone model helps in predicting the next token or the complete clone method body. The model can also be used to perform code search for common functionalities. There are some limitations and threats to validity also. We cannot expect exactly the same clone method being predicted or completed as the one used in training by deep clone model. This is a well-known issue of text and or code generation. An extension of the current work would involve displaying the most similar clone methods from the dataset to the user. There's another limitation that Big Clone Bench only contains clone references of methods for the 43 common functionalities. Similarly, Big Clone Bench does not necessarily represent Java language source code entirely. So for the clone method prediction, we have only used nucleus sampling. Other techniques such as beam search can also be used in the future. There can be some other hyperparameter combinations which can be tried in the future for getting a better training model. We plan to investigate how to tackle different types and granularity levels of core clones such as simple clones, structural clones, and clones of other artifacts such as models. Here is a list of acknowledgements. Dr. Suhaib Khan, founder of Hazen AI, helps us in giving a feedback of experimentation. Sarv Sara give us credits for experimentation, and this project is partly funded by Prince Sultan University. Thanks a lot for your time.